Hi, this is Fix My Fibro, and my name's Bernadette. So, your immune system is greatly invested in your fibromyalgia, and you might not believe it, but it is. And I'll explain why. So, it's been recently shown that we don't have enough enzyme that processes a histamine molecule or an immune molecule called histamine in our bodies. So, histamine is released from mast cells, which are an immune cell. And when we have too much of those in our body, either from diet or from these mast cells popping open, if we don't have enough enzyme to process it, we're going to have symptoms from excess histamine. And that happens routinely every single fibromyalgia patient. The recent studies that looked at this issue actually showed huge numbers of fibromyalgia patients had this histamine issue, either medium levels or really low levels. And if you had really low levels, you had more severe fibromyalgia symptoms compared to someone who might have medium levels of histamine processing enzyme. So that is an immune condition that is controlling part of your symptoms. And you can take supplements, I talk about in other videos, and you can control your diet, and it will change the symptoms that you're experiencing. It's interesting, just in that study, that 75% of the patients in a 100 people study, had these gene defects to end up having that histamine problem. In science and medicine, anything over 5% is considered statistically significant, meaning that if you tested 100 people and more than you had a control group, they don't get any symptoms. So they will have maybe, a really low percentage. And then what designates statistically significant in medicine and in science is anything over 5%. To have 75% of the patients exhibit symptoms relating to these histamine issues and to have these gene defects is really, really super significant. So, histamine is a massive issue of the immune system. Another issue is your calcium ion, ION, calcium ion channels, which control calcium in and out of your cell. They're like a little lock and gate that, when it's closed, calcium can't go in and out of the cell. When they open, calcium can freely flow. Well, it's been shown by recent research, once again, that two calcium ion channels are defective in chronic fatigue syndrome. One of those two is defective in long COVID. And because everyone with fibromyalgia has chronic fatigue syndrome, it's highly likely that this calcium issue of calcium ion flux into the cell is significant to us as well. What we find in fibromyalgia, or what we find with those calcium ion channels, regardless of fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue, is that they're actually on what's known as a natural killer cell, an NK cell of the immune system. So once again, it's the immune system that's implicated in our symptoms.